When I first took this building, it was really creepy. I remember, everybody went out for lunch. I was the only one here. And I would lock the doors from the office to the warehouse. But we do often hear like boxes fall, and we hear strange things.
What is Las Vegas Mannequins exactly?
So Las Vegas Mannequins, I started as a rental company primarily for the trade show industry. In the 21 years we've been in business, we've changed a little bit. We now offer store fixtures, displays, we do custom fabrication, so we do a little bit more than just sell bodies.
How did you decide that you were going to do this?
So back in the day, I was actually renting trade show booths. So I came from the trade show convention world, selling graphics, booths. And then I noticed that there were a lot of fashion shows in town, and that was one of the items that nobody had to help accent clothing that people are trying to sell at the events. So I started a mannequin rental company.
This is a really big building, and it's really cool. Did you start out here, or have you moved around a little bit?
So when I started, I lived in a condo across from Texas Station on Rancho, and I had 2 bedrooms, and I thought of the mannequin idea, created a website in the middle of the night, and then ended up having to buy mannequins to fulfill the orders. So I had them in a second bedroom of my condo at the time. Outgrew that, ended up getting a storage unit, and then since then I've been kind of on this corner here in Chinatown. So I started on Spring Mountain, I've moved over to Polaris, I've been over on Cyrus, and then we've been in this building for 13 years.
Because this is like, I've driven by this building a few times. I was like, mannequins. And then now just to see it inside, it's pretty amazing. Where do you source the mannequins from?
So a lot of them, we do sell new and used mannequins. We used to design our own mannequins. We would have them fabricated overseas, and then I would import containers. Moving into this building, that's when I was able to do the containers because we actually have a full loading dock. Our other places, we didn't have a dock. We couldn't forklift things off, etc. So yeah, and then as things have grown, people always reach out to me to buy mannequins, old used mannequins. Sometimes we do store liquidations, so they come from all different sources.
Is there a vintage market for mannequins? Because everything has a vintage market, like guitars and antiques or whatever. Is there a vintage genre of mannequins, if you will?
There is, yes. And there's a lot of people who are very, very into mannequins. I'm into mannequins, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the vintage mannequins. There's certain brands like Rootstein, Grenacher, on eBay. If you look on eBay or on Facebook, there's Facebook groups, and people are very knowledgeable about looking for like specific parts that go with like a specific mannequin they might have that was, built back in the 1950s, and there's definitely a vintage market out there for sure.
Do you know how long mannequins have been around or a thing?
Like the very first mannequin? I feel like I should know that, and I'm definitely going to look that up later tonight.
It's been around a long time.
A long time. I mean, probably like the traditional dress forms might have been the first item. I need to look into that.
Well, I'll look it up too.
Yeah.
Because now I'm interested. How far, what do you think is your oldest mannequin that you have here?
So I have 2 mannequins, which I can show you a little later. I don't know what time period they came from, and I actually bought them off Facebook Marketplace from a woman not too far around here, and I can't figure out where they're from. They're made like really differently. It's not all fiberglass for the whole body. They have different almost paper on them. Other than those, I mean, the oldest mannequins I have that I've personally bought were, I'd say maybe like 15 years ago, which is not that old. I mean, they're pretty new.
Were the old mannequins built differently than the new ones?
I think they were built a lot better. The fabrication, like back in the day, probably in like New York or a lot of there's mannequins from Germany. Just the fittings and the way they do the fiberglass. It's not just like a very thin coat of fiberglass with paint on top. They were made like they're a lot heavier. I think today, they probably get, they're mass produced and they're not putting as much care into them. If you drop it, it's going to break a lot easier.
So they've always been made out of fiberglass. I was thinking they might be made out of wood back in the day.
We have some dress forms that have wooden arms that are like articulated. We've got some wicker mannequins. Mostly fiberglass is what we deal with though.
If somebody wants a custom mannequin, is that something you still offer?
Not so much since 2020. We used to do that, a lot of that in-house, and things have just kind of changed, and people don't have the budget to do that anymore. So, but we have our clearance department where a lot of our rental mannequins go. Rather than just try to repair them, we'll just put them in clearance. People can buy them for cheaper. They're still in pretty decent shape, but not rentable.
It would seem like a mannequin is a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you have clearance sales? Do poses and faces evolve with the times, or how do you get new stock, and what do customers want from that?
I mean, I've seen over the year mannequin trends have changed a lot. When I started, it was more about the mannequins that are flesh with the facial features, and then they've evolved into the faceless ones, which are still pretty popular. I think colors changed over the years. Matte black is kind of popular right now. Glossy white used to be like the big hot thing. But in our clearance department, they don't necessarily go in there because the trend has changed. It's mostly because of like damage or somebody, I don't know what it is about people taking hands off mannequins. They do it in department stores. You'll notice that. Same at trade shows. They just come back and they just don't have the hand anymore. So we'll put those guys in clearance, that kind of thing.
That brings up the next question I have. Have there been instances where people come in here and you can tell that they have like a fetish of like hands or feet or mannequin fetish?
We do have we have some strange people come in here, and you can kind of tell. You get the feeling when they walk in. I try to be respectful because a customer is a customer. We've had a few strange phone calls from like overseas tourists who think a mannequin is like a model, so they think they're calling to get a girl for the night when obviously that's not what we sell.
so yeah, I could see that with a language barrier.
Yeah.
It is very, very interesting here. I mean, I was setting up and I looked over my shoulder and I felt like someone was watching me, and then I realized it was just a mannequin. What's some of the creepiest things that have happened here? Like, do you find yourself like closing up and you forget that the mannequin is in a corner or something and you see it? Do you ever get startled or have anything like that happen?
Not in a long time. When I first took this building, it was really creepy. I remember, everybody went out for lunch. I was the only one here, and I would lock the doors from the office to the warehouse because I didn't know, But we do often hear like boxes fall, and we hear strange things.
So do you think there's any kind of hauntings here or anything like that?
I mean, maybe. This is a very old building. It was built in, I want to say like the 50s, and then different sections were added on, and a lot of things have happened in this area. There was up on Arville, DI in Arville back in the day, there was a daycare, and I think a child got killed there, and then one of the teachers ended up committing suicide because the child was on her watch and was so distraught about it. So I know there's that happened on that corner. So there's other things we probably don't know. I mean, this would be a great place for a ghost to hang out, right?
Is this a place where people could come and photograph and do videos or anything? Is that a service that you're looking to maybe possibly explore?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have a lot of people call for that, so it's something we're looking into.
And how would they reach you to do something like that?
Just give a call. We're on social media, LV Mannequins. Just give the office a call. My cell phone's actually on the homepage of the website. Always text me and reach out.
So aside from running the mannequin store, do you have a bar also?
I do, yes. I opened a bar. Started construction in 2021. We finally opened in December 2023. It's called Voodoo Brewing Company, and we're down in the Arts District.
The Arts District, have you seen that go from maybe not such a cool place to a vibrant place, or are you still new to that area when you built the building?
So we've been there. All I did during construction was walk around and try to network, meet other business owners, and because that's all you can do. And then since we opened, I don't get to see as many people, but I feel like there's a lot of construction down there. A lot of the locals are getting kind of pushed out. Parking is increasing. There's a lot of development down there that I don't know if it's like a positive thing or not.
What is it a brewery, or is it just a bar, or what exactly is it?
So it's considered a tap room. So we don't brew beer, but we bring kegs in. So we bring kegs in from Voodoo Brewery, which is in Pennsylvania, and then we also have guest taps. We have a full bar too, so we have liquor and wine.
What is it about Voodoo Brewery that got your attention?
It's just a cool company, cool group of guys who own it, and they make a great product. So I think it would go well in the Arts District. That's why I opened there.
Do you do live entertainment there too?
We do. We've got a huge patio area. Our building is not that big, but outside we've got a big patio area. We have a stage out there, so there's a lot of room. We do a lot of live music, trivia, art events, all kinds of stuff.
How do people find that?
Mostly on social media, Voodoo Brewery Vegas, on Instagram and Facebook.
And if a performer wants to perform there, or a band, do they reach out through Instagram or?
Yeah, they can reach out on Instagram or email me, Allison at voodoobrewery.vegas, and I'll help out.
And what is this guy here?
Okay, so this guy we were hired to custom make a mannequin of a local celebrity who works at a car dealership here in Las Vegas. I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Yeah?
No? John Barr.
John Barr. How did you do it? Did you take a cast of him, or?
So what we did was we took his measurements. We found a mannequin that was closest to his measurements, and then we had a sculptor make the head and attached it.
And there's a few of them around the store here.
Yes, we've got, I believe, 3 or 4 of them.
Is he still alive?
He is, yeah. You can go down to, I believe he's in Henderson, Toyota.
Does he have a few of them hanging out, or?
Well, we were hoping he was going to go hang out down there, but the project never finished, so now he's hanging out here. Unless he wants to come in and buy him.
Say this is the most realistic one that you have?
Probably, yeah. I mean, when I look into his eyes, yes, he's pretty realistic, to a point. Also, the other sculptures that we have from the show, those are pretty custom.
Full disclaimer: when I was doing the interview and then I was switching the equipment around, this one got me.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the one that I saw looking, and I actually thought there was an actual human. Would you say, I mean, it's not a creepy, like it's not a monster, but would you say this one might give you the most jump scares?
I'll be honest, it's the children that give me the jumps, because we have a couple of realistic looking. You don't expect them to be there, and then you turn around and they're there, and yeah. But we do internal pranks on each other with the children mannequins.
Are all the mannequins like really stiff, or besides the ones you just showed, do they sit down and stuff?
We have sitting mannequins, but it's like a static pose, so you would have to like buy a sitting mannequin. We do have some that have articulated arms and legs, where there's like a ball joint that you just take an Allen wrench and adjust them into fixed positions. Those are pretty popular, like F1, we rented some of those, CES show to position like riding a bike, so those are good for events.
Allison, what can you tell me about these?
Okay, so I am actually the only person in the entire country who has the full collection of Lady Lulu mannequins. I bought a container from her husband, the late Lady Lulu, I should say. Unfortunately, there was a tragedy, and her husband had the full container of everything. I ended up buying it. She had a store in Palm Springs called Lady Lulu. And yeah, they're very unique. They're very sought after. If you go on eBay, if anyone has one, they obviously try to resell them. Each one is signed by Lulu herself. She signed each one, so you know it's an authentic. There's a lot out there that aren't authentic, and they obviously don't have her signature on them. But I have torsos, full mannequins, male, female. This is the most popular right here, the red-headed lady. For some reason, nobody really likes this girl over here, but I think she's kind of cute. And then we have the males. Some are winking, some aren't. So I've got tons of these, if anybody's interested in them.
Why are the expressions different on these? I mean, looking around the store, there is some lifelike ones, but these have like a certain look to them. Is that the Lady Lulu?
Yes, yeah, they're very, very unique. And as I mentioned, I have a full winking man over here. But the wink is cool. We have some with kissy faces, just because they're so unique is why people like them.
So that was her style, and it's never been really done after that then?
Correct.
What makes the Lady Lulu so sought after?
I think it's just because she had a great presence in Palm Springs. She did a lot for community. She had a store there. A lot of people knew about her. And yeah, I'm not sure how she got into mannequins, or if she was really trying to get into mannequins, or if it was just like an item that she was adding to her gift store to sell. But yeah, there were a lot left over, so here they are.
Is the construction any different on these?
They're fiberglass. Some of them do have small stress cracks, which happen over a while with fiberglass, but most of them are in extremely good shape, and they do feel like a little heavier. They're made nice for sure. They do have the holes for the earrings, which a lot of people like that. And as I mentioned, we've got the full body, the torsos, and the heads.
Do mannequins don't usually have earring holes in it?
Not all of them, and especially people who are selling earrings, it's a plus to have those. We've done some custom mannequins where we've had faceless mannequins like this, and we've added on the ears and the ear holes for people.
Thanks for watching Untitled Interview. If you liked the conversation you just watched, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested, there's lots more just like that right here.